Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. If you follow me on Instagram, you may have seen that I did sell the red S2000. It is kind of a sad day when I sold it, but the opportunity came up where I could sell it and make some money. I did buy the car for about $10,000 and I put a couple thousand into it probably, and I ended up selling it for $16,500, so it's kind of a no-brainer right now with the market how it is to go ahead and sell that car. I didn't drive it a whole lot. I've still got the Subaru STI, I've got the CRX, I've got this CRX, I've got a lot of cars here. I really don't get a chance to drive all of them, so I'm happy to say that it went to a new owner up in Minnesota. Hopefully he'll get to enjoy that car a little bit more than I did. But in today's video, as you saw, I did pick up a new car. It is a 99, or actually it's a 2000 Honda Civic EX. A guy at work was actually daily driving this thing to work every day for the past 5 or 6 years. He wanted to get rid of it. He upgraded to a different car. He gave me a good deal on it, so it does need a decent amount of work, and I really don't know how far I'm going to go with it as far as how much work I'm going to do, but I did pick it up. I'm going to clean it up as best I can. I may end up just making it a quick flip, or I may end up going a little bit further with it and really cleaning it up, possibly repainting it, but I don't think I'm going to go that far. I'm going to see what kind of condition this paint is in. It doesn't look great, but it may wash up nicely. It's been like 5 years since this car's been washed, so I think a wash will really do it some good. So let's go ahead and jump into it. Alright, well, it's been a couple of hours and I really hand washed this thing about 3 times. I started by just pressure washing a lot of the major grime off of there, as you saw. I didn't show a lot of the scrubbing because it's really time consuming, and I was using degreaser and soap, and I tried some clay bar up here, but a lot of these contaminants are kind of in the paint. They're kind of embedded down in there in the clear coat, or really what's left of the clear coat. The car has been repainted in the past. They didn't do a great job at prepping, so around some of these edges here, around the moldings, the paint was coming off a little bit. You could see the original factory paint under it where they actually didn't even sand it. So I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to do with the paint. I'm going to try the buffing compound method just to see kind of what it looks like. We'll just go from there. I'm not going to spend too much time on the paint today. I probably won't do that in today's video at all, actually. I'm going to try to focus on the major issues, which are the windows here. The driver and passenger window, the regulators themselves are worn out, so the windows fall off the track. I think it's a common problem on the EKs. It just had a bad design, and just years of use, they wear out. Those little Teflon bearings or whatever they're made out of. The sunroof, actually I don't think the sunroof is leaking at all. It operates correctly. Everything looks good up there, but I did notice whenever I was spraying out the car, or spraying off the car, that water was leaking in on the top of the windshield there. So I think that's the major water issue in the car itself. There's a little bit of water back in the passenger side, or back behind the driver's seat there, and I think it's coming from the windshield itself. So I'm going to focus on getting those window regulators in to resolve the water issue on these windows, and we'll look at the windshield later. Another thing here is the passenger side mirror is busted off. That was part of the accident that kind of damaged the quarter panel back here. So I'm also going to replace the mirror here. I did buy a used EK mirror. It's a silver one. It's not in great shape, but it matches the paint that's on the car here. So let's go ahead and get the mirror put on, and then we will jump over here to these window regulators. lots of progress on the Civic here. I got the fog lights installed. I really like the style of these because they look like the OEM fog lights. Really, if you didn't look closely, you wouldn't be able to tell. They're kind of a pain to install because it's just time consuming, a lot of cutting, wiring run, just different things like that. I did a lot of that off camera. It just took so long. So I'm happy with getting those done in today's video though, and the window's complete. There should be no more leaks from that other than the windshield, which will be at a later date. I may end up having somebody come out, pull the windshield and reseal it. Not exactly sure yet how to do that. But the mirror looks good on there. It matches the satin finish paint here. I may eventually try to buff some of this out, add a little bit of shine to it. I'm not going to spend a ton of time on it because it's not in great shape anyway, so no matter what I do to it, it's not going to be perfect. But different things like up front here, the grille is really faded. I may try to use some Cerakote on that to bring back some life to that. I'm thinking about trying to find an SI front lip here, maybe an aftermarket one that will look good. The challenge I've got though is I want to paint it and I won't be able to match this paint here, so I'm not really sure if I'm going to do that just yet. But I'm happy with how things are going, and hopefully we'll get this thing wrapped up pretty soon and get it for sale.